Jim Razor.
Right.
Moving down the agenda is, since we're having the old business today, did you have anything about it? Okay, moving on to new business. Collective bargaining, I'm sorry, get that out. Collective bargaining agreement for Williamson County Highway Department. We finished negotiating that contract. It's here today. Did you guys have an opportunity to read through it? Are there any changes? or anything?
There are going to be, there's two modifications. One is a date at the front cover page. It indicated 07 or 27, it needs to be 28. In the holiday section, since we added one, it said 11 holidays, it just needs to say 12. The holidays are all listed there, but it just said 11. So they picked up on that. And then they've had a request, and I'll get with George, to actually put the wage in for the pre-2010 people so that it's defined like it used to be.
Yeah,
I left it to where it was just adding it to whatever that wage was,
they want to see it in
and
there.
they wanted to see it in writing, so we'll do an addendum or an appendix to the contract, which is essentially what it
Was
is.
the signature page right on there?
Signature page is correct. Yeah, so everything's good as far as you guys signing it, and then with, like I said, those just simple changes, I've already made them.
Contingent on those changes being made.
Yeah, I've already made those changes, I just don't have somebody to send it to.
Okay. Any comments or concerns about that? Is there a motion to approve that agreement?
Move. Second.
Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Okay,
Jim Marlowe.
Yes.
Jim Razor.
glad to have that done, George.
Yes.
That's a pretty good deal. Glad to have it finished.
Relief.
Okay, moving on down, office furniture, computers for the assessor's office. And then they needed some new computers and some new furniture. We have that invoice in front of us. Any questions or comments about this? Some of this was being paid out of automation. That's what that's,
Would be out of, well,
It's-
whatever portion would come from it would be out of GIS.
it's gonna come out of GIS. Right.
I don't know what the valuation is to right now. That's Josh.
Usually Josh in your notes.
So total amounts coming out of GIS?
No, there's a portion, I think there was one computer printer, I think, was coming out. Maybe it was two
The
computers.
max would be, right now, I believe there's only two, well, you got one existing, one employee, probably, well, I guess now you have two
Two.
employees in there currently. So I would assume it would be at least two computers and two printers, and if there's any other things that are associated with the setup, that would be included.
Okay. Any further comments? Any motion to approve this invoice?
So
Second.
Roll call, please.
Tim Atkinson.
Yeah.
Jim Marlowe.
Yes.
Jim Razor.
Jay.
Animal control facility sign. That would be Mr. Dillon. Do we want to go ahead and just let him talk about the animal control?
Yeah, he was,
Yeah.
Wait, Mark.
If Mr. Dillon needs to go someplace, he'll be here this morning.
Good morning. See you guys. So, we have before you is just an example sign. We started the conversation with Kevin Harris on, what we're gonna do along the roadway. His first inclination was he wanted a lighted sign, something that, maybe have a video board that they can show some of the pets, the dogs that are, in the facility. So we started working with local vendor, just get some budget numbers, and some conceptuals that you see there. Those numbers came back. Not a bad price, but I think budget wise is something we want to make sure to bring you your discussion. We're looking between $35,000 and $40,000. Which I understand is not a bad rate for a sign like that, but is that really what you as a board want for this facility?
Speaking with Kevin yesterday, I think he's kind of changed his mind on this type of sign. I invited Kevin here. I sent him a notice about the meeting, and I thought maybe he would be here to give any additional comment, but I think just a standard sign is what he's kind of leaning towards. Now, does the board have any different idea
Honestly, I'd like to see the total budget before we spend money on signs.
We're working on that now.
Yeah,
And I'll go a different route. This leads to, video signs lead to distracted driving. There's so many ingress egress points on that road already. It's so congested that I would be against the video sign creating more of a distraction.
it's an excellent point.
No matter what it costs, I'd be against the video sign in that location.
That's a good point.
So we're looking at just a plain monumental sign, have it lit for night, or just use some lights to light the face of it. But those beings will start to kind of tweak. It's not a high priority, but just something.
I think there will be a sign.
Yes, there will be a sign. Just-
Now, will that require the separate,
Bunch of
meter?
service.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation, we began the process with Ameren on utilities, Jim put in a bill number for us so we could talk to them. Met with them, earlier this week, gas service isn't gonna be a problem, we know there's plenty of gas going across that site. Electric, so the wetlands throws a little bit of hitch. Along the southeast corner, there is three-phase service that comes from the southwest and northeast there between you and the Ameren site. But going as the bird flies, it's gonna be a problem for cutting across the wetlands. We'll have to probably set a pole and come around the path, so to speak.
So about ground service.
So then we have an option to get power back out to a sign, would be to bury conduit cable, bring it all the way from the building, about 1,200 feet to service that sign. Or look to have Ameren set a separate service just for the sign. You know, that gets into routine meter costs too. So we're looking to see what the payback period on that would be, just the upfront cost versus the ongoing monthly charges. And it may just be something where we just don't do it still. We've been doing some solar lights on
was my
signs,
question.
and they're getting better, so their lifetime isn't there like some, commercial powered signs, but might be able to pay for this several times, what the cost would be.
Great.
Ameren has, they said they will put the pole lights down the road. They do them every 75 feet. If you want them further apart, they charge you more. So we're looking at 75 feet. The transformer on pad, I talked to Kevin about that. Transformer on pad will be outside the fence at Ameren Services. That's pretty straightforward. Gas and sewer, or water and sewer. Farley Engineering has submitted the permits, we're waiting back on the EPA. IDOT had a concern of crossing 37, they want that cased.
That's,
The water line case, so Brian got the revision on that. We did get the IDOT entrance permit, that's finalized, so we're almost there with all the permits.
excellent. So, you waiting on that for the job to go out to bid or?
No, right now, so I'm waiting for the final drawings from the consultants. Supposed to see structural within the week, electrical within the week as well. And then we'll start our final coordination. Hoping that's gonna take about a 2-week period. Until Brett, I was gonna get him the spec book, that he can start looking at the contractual language for contractors. Any concerns with that addressed as well. After we get the drawings well coordinated, start finalizing our cost assessment, so we tell you where we think we're at. Excellent. I'm hoping the next couple of weeks we'll be ready to sit down and look at the job as a group if you want, or we can sit in small groups with Kevin and Jim and I'll be here. Review.
That sounds good. Right along.
So I think other than the sign, we'll kind of put that on hold and look at some cost-effective options as well. Budget wise, once Ameren gives me a final number on the line cost, we can talk about that. I think most other questions we have answers. It's just getting it wrapped up.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
it.
Moving on down to the P-band software. Actually, that's probably in your office, isn't it?
Well, it's all three of us. You want to be on the X or just on the top?
Wherever you feel comfortable on
I
the
don't
X.
care.
Wherever I can get a good picture of it. Make sure you get his best size,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, so as you know, obviously we're converting to DevNet. We have a kickoff meeting February 6th.
to begin the process, we are going to need to have all of the existing software information converted and migrated over into the new DevNet system. We've been with Big Bam for 26 years. So he's provided a proposal to be able to do all of the conversion plus offer us existing supports, because we are going to have to do redemptions. We are going to have to send out mobile home bills. We're going to have to accept prepayments and that, and I guess forfeitures and everything else, all on the existing system up until we convert and roll over into DevNet, print out the bills and go live in September.
Yeah, that's all.
So-
we made deadline.
And that's, we hit the May 1st deadline. Marcus provided a proposal in here to convert all the 26 years worth of information and all the routines and everything necessary, and estimated to be approximately 200 hours. He's also going to write a program. I've checked, I've got it on email, that he will write a program to be able to convert the mobile home collections and the prepayments and then any redemptions that have been made up to that point to be able to go into the DevNet system.
So part of our initial decision to go with Devin, we talked about him, he was in Jefferson County, correct?
Yes.
And he's written his software and that process went very well, right?
Well, I mean, it had its bumps, but it got finished.
Yeah,
There was a delay. Mark is fully aware of the 120-day window and everything else, so, I mean, he's probably priced it accordingly that he's gonna have to focus on this. We normally pay him 23 or 24,000 anyway for annual maintenance.
right.
And then website and everything else, so you're looking at probably $14,000 conversion cost. I think this is well worth it, and I don't feel like it's exorbitant. And also, I mean, when you look at it, we don't have a choice.
We don't have
So,
a choice.
I mean,
But
it
we
is,
knew that going in because we had already had this discussion. And we started to-
we just didn't have a number that was,
So now we have a number for this.
so, I mean,
And we had 26 years of that.
yeah, we had 26 years of data compared to Jefferson County that had, I think, maybe 12, 15, and they also did not keep the amount of data. So, I mean,
It looks like you may have a comment.
Well, and again, we've kind of done an exchange, but I just wanted to have complete disclosure here. My only concern with this is that it's estimate. I don't know what estimate means. So is it a definitive price? This is what he's gonna charge us? Or is it, if it takes more than that, it's like that was my only concern is he says it's a proposal and costs have been estimated. It's just the legality of the language of what does that mean? Do we have the ability to hold him to this price? Or is he gonna come back and say, hey, you know what, we had this and now it's 45,000, it took more, but I just don't know what the conversation with him has been. Is it a definitive 38,000? Or is it, this is a rough estimate, it's gonna cost you that, and we're approving a rough estimate, but the bill is gonna be higher or lower? That was my only concern.
Well, he says on here, this estimate only covers the current tax system, does not include the county. Is there any accounting that?
no, that's totally separate. We pay for accounting through a different line item. All of that is paid whenever we need assistance. That's the centralized accounting line. So he's just referencing that, if he sends another bill and it's pertaining to accounting, it's not included. These are two separate
No, I understood,
functioning
I
programs.
understood that element.
So what we need to do is find out, like Rick said, is this a solid number for service? Or not?
I just didn't like the word, he uses the word estimate at the beginning and the estimate at the end.
Yeah.
If he would just say 38,000 is
It's a hard
the
number.
price that I'm giving you to do this, minus the accounting, et cetera. I'm fine with that. But I just wanted to make sure that everything that because he just says at the beginning, I've estimated, and then he says at the end, this is an estimate.
So what you want then, could we add something? So, because he's got it on here, estimate 200 hours. So could he say that this is for 200 and anything over 200 hours would be at X per hour?
I'm
And then
fine
we
with,
know, and then that we would need a running total.
right, because that's my issue. I'm fine with that, because what if it took him 150? Are we still paying him 38 or are we paying him for the 150?
I say we're paying, this is the minimum.
Right, but that's what it needs to state then, is that
Okay.
this
So,
is
so
for
we changed
200
the
hours.
routine to say this price is up to 200 hours. And then anything over 200 hours will be billed at X.
Wherever the board wants to go with
Is
it,
that
that's
okay?
my only
Yeah.
concern with it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we want to lock it in that the project is this, and we don't care how many hours.
Okay.
That would be the better option for the county.
Okay.
To just say, here's the price that we're gonna pay.
Mhm.
If he gets it done in 100 hours, great, he made a lot of money. If it
Right.
takes him 300, he didn't estimate well.
Okay.
I don't care which, but I think that would be that would be my recommendation to the board, is that we get a definitive price.
Yeah.
As opposed to, he's keeping track of the time.
Mhm.
I mean, in all reality, so.
I'm not familiar with being charged by processor. This is not a manual process. This is not someone sitting doing key punch on this. I can't believe it is. But once the routine is written to do the conversion, the machine's just going to sit there and run. I don't care if it runs for an hour or 400 hours. But man hours, much less than that. So the idea that it could go up concerns me. Unless I'm completely missing something here and he's keep punching the conversion manually.
The only thing I know of from listening to him and then listening to DevNet was that there were certain things that they had to rewrite to convert from like his box to like their fields, like they didn't match up exactly. So that had to be a manual process. Obviously, he's gonna have to write some type of program for the information that's being obtained between the May 1st cutoff, and then what we're doing in our offices. But I don't know if that's, like you just said, I don't know if that's an hour to write a program or if that's 9 hours to write that conversion. Can you write one conversion program to do all 4 or 5 or 6 of those?
Why don't we bring
methods?
him in here then? And
I mean, we can call him, and I
Yeah.
mean, he won't come in. We can call him. That's not a problem. But I can
Either way.
pose these
Find
questions
out. Yeah.
to him, and find out what his response is. I mean, Mark's always been easy to work with, so I don't think he's not trying
Sure.
to do anything that I think would be a
Can you give us
disadvantage
a-
to either side.
Get us some information then.
Yeah. I will. And then if you want, I mean, I'll get the information, I'll send it to you guys, and if that's not sufficient and you want to have a conference call, something to.
That's good.